well versed with it now, but I'll give you a very, very brief introduction. And believe me, I'm not expecting any questions from you because you should be knowing everything by now. So what is Anvaya? So we all know that in a shloka, in a kavya, the words are hither. That means itastataha pavitum arhati shabdaha, right? This one. So what happens? We will not be able to understand the meaning at the first stance. So we will have to regroup it in order to make it a meaningful sentence. Whatever I'm trying to tell you, you're able to understand because it is all grammatically arranged and I'm talking like that so that everything is reaching you and you're able to make some sense out of it. You are able to make some sense out of it. Out of it sense you make, if I talk that way, you will be, though it is as though they are the same words, it will not hit you at the first time itself because it is regrouped and it doesn't make sense. It is not right grammatically. So if I regroup it and make it, arrange it properly in a proper sentence, you'll be able to understand. That is exactly what we are trying to do. Kavya has been written with words put everywhere. So we will have to rearrange it so that we understand it better, so that it conveys proper meaning to us. This itself, that is Anvaya. The regrouping, the rearrangement, that is called, you can say that it's a decoding shloka also. The thing is, it's not very simple as I described, because there'll be a lot of sandhis, a lot of samasas, a lot of other things, grammatical things. So we will have to do a lot of things in order to break it. And the whole process is called, the whole process wherein lastly we arrive at the sentence is called Anvaya. Why Anvaya? Obviously, I told you the kavya is put, the words are scattered. Why are they scattered? Now you understand, now that you have studied Chandas, you understand why it has been scattered. The Kavi has come up with some words. He has got a situation in his mind. He has come up with a suitable words. Now, in order to put it in a proper kavya, he is following say one Chandas, Vasanta Tilaka say. Now it has to be put in ta, ba, ja, ja, guru sequence only. Suppose his words, proper words, if he has to say that in a sentence, is like guru, tagana, guru, bhagana, there is another jagana like that. And that is making proper sense. I can say that and you will understand. But it is not complying to Vasanta Tilaka Vrittam. So he is arranging it in Tabha Jaja Guru sequence to fit in the meter so that it sounds beautiful. It may not be conveying the proper meaning at one instance, but then it is sounding beautiful. That is all kavya is all about, right? So he is putting it in Tabha Jaja sequence, all padas of a shloka, right? Now that is why it is scattered. So in order to understand the meaning, we will have to rearrange and put it in whatever sequence I told you, some guru, whatever the sequence that made sense as a sentence, we will have to rearrange so that we understand it better. So why Anvaya? So that we get back the zipped version, you can say, that was done by the Kavi. So now we will have to, he had encoded it and kept it. We will decode it and put it and understand it. So it was scattered only to meet the metrical requirements. Now we know what Chandas requires, right? So we know the requirements. So Kavi followed it. He has put it everywhere. We will regroup it. We will understand in a simple manner. So now why do we see there is a process called Anvayarachana, which happens during Anvaya. And why is that happening? Because wherein we are asking questions. So why are we asking questions? Because we have to arrive at, so ultimate is to arrive at Anvaya. So we are doing all this. So why do we ask questions? Now, any sentence for that matter needs a verb. Okay. Balaha shalam. If I stop there, there is no meaning. Balaha shalam gacchanti. Only when I say gacchanti, it makes sense. Now, verb is a very important part of the sentence, right? Now, every word in a sentence is some way or the other connected to the verb. Gacchanti, they are going. Somebody is going, plural. Then you'll have to say, ke gacchanti, who are all going? Then you have who are going is connected, where they're going is connected, and many other things. How are they going? With whom are they going? All that. So everything is connected to going, of course, except for Shashti Vibhakti ones, where it just gives a relation. So Shashti is not even considered Vibhakti. So we will rule out Shashti right now. So all others are all other words are related to the verb. So now we catch hold of that verb in the sentence. Then we will start getting all the words by relating to the verb. Who is going? Something is getting done. Say, karoti, kaha karoti, balaha karoti. Kridati, kaha kridati, balaha kridati. Who is working? With what is he working? With what is he playing? With where is he playing? All that. See how it is related to playing. So that is why we take one word and we will start asking questions so that we come up with all the other related words. So that and how do we ask these questions? We all know that we use the Kim Shabda. So we have all the gender in Kim Shabda, and I hope and I'm sure probably by this time you're all well versed with Kim Shabda and how to use it, Pratama, Dvitiya and all that. This is easy, and Shashti is out of this, but still whenever you have to express a relation, whose son, whose bag or whose whatever, you will have to use Shashti. And then we group Vibhaktis. Why do we group Vibhaktis? Because there is a fundamental thing in Sanskrit that Vishesha and Visheshana follow. Visheshana follows Vishesha. The adjective follows noun in terms of Vibhakti and Vachana. So once you group them together, you will understand it better. Suppose I say the blind girl followed the tall man. So when I group tall and man and blind and girl, then I'll be able to associate them because they're having different vibhaktis. Otherwise, you will end up saying blind man followed the tall girl. So when you group it, you will understand it better because they have the same vibhaktis. You can be arriving at the proper adjectives and nouns. So, and when you use Kim Shabda for those which are having vibhaktis, for adjectives we say Kidrusha, Vibhakti, and then all this you know. Fourth vibhakti we use Kimartam, seventh we use Kutra, third we say Katam, Kutaha, all that. Katam Bhuta is also there for what is that? Kridantas and all that. So, and Adhyaharam also, whenever there is something missing in the shloka, mostly a verb or sometimes even the karta would be missing, we imply that. We assume that and we go forward. So that is called Adhyaharam. So in Anvaya, basically this last time also I have done this same exact thing for Subhashitani also, if you remember. So same thing we will be doing for Anvaya. For Pada Vibhaga, so we will break up words. So we will break up words. While breaking up words, we will have to break up the sandhis and samasas also. Samasa, we will not break it up and put it in Pada Vibhaga. We will not touch samasa, but we will only know the breakup of it. We will not actually be, unlike sandhi. Sandhi, we will break it up and the broken up words, we will put it in Pada Vibhaga. Samasa, we will only understand the Vigraha Vakya, but we will keep it intact. Then Pratipadartha, we know the synonyms. Vyakaranamsha, where you will do the grammatical analysis, Subanta, Tiyanta and all. I will club these two, Pratipadartha and Vyakaranamsha in a table. Then Vakya Vishleshanam is this one, grouping Vibhaktis and all. And then Akanksha, Krameda, Anvaya, where we ask...
Manya, are you showing any slide, Manya? Not able to see any slide.
You're not seeing the slide? No. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
No, ma'am.
Oh my God, it should have been so boring for you.
Nothing we could see, ma'am.
Now are you able to see?
No, ma'am.
No,
But
ma'am.
it was interesting. We were listening.
Yeah,
but we are listening.
There's no
Yeah, you should have told me. Now?
No, ma'am.
No, not
No.
No, not yet.
No, ma'am.
1 second. I'm so sorry. I have not even.
But it was also interesting to follow, ma'am.
Okay, thank God I made some sense.
Once in a while, we have to listen, ma'am.
We are hearing only one.
Shravana Sanskar improved, yeah.
And now are you able to?
Yes, it
Yeah.
came.
Yes,
It
yes,
got it.
Oh, what? Pardon me.
Only
My God.
Anvaya is there now.
Okay, hope
Blank
you
screen.
understood. My God.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now it is.
Okay, this is what I've been talking
It is the
about.
screen
Okay.
we can explain.
But
Actually, we
somebody
could
asked in between
concentrate. We
also.
could concentrate more on
But
the
it was
subject, ma'am.
interesting. Listening to
Okay,
you.
then you don't need slides at all, Bhagini?
No, no. we need.
Or
It
some
will
of
okay,
us
ma'am.
no need, madam.
Please,
Because
Bhagini explains us
please
nicely.
explain with
It will
the
okay.
screen, Bhagini. Please
no,
explain.
I
the screen,
spend a
Bhagini.
lot of time on slides. If you do not want it, I'll be more than happy.
No, ma'am.
Well, I know how much effort you have put.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
At the
okay.
end of the class, you can give the slides, ma'am. But before that,
Yes.
we are ready to follow your things.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, this is a slide. So this is what I was talking about. Okay. I'm sorry I didn't show it properly. Anyway, so I had come till here. So Padavibhaga and all that, Tatparyam. But this year and for Kovida, I will be adding this Chanda and Alankara also. Okay, because these two you have learned. I will not be explaining Alankara and Chandas again, but then I expect you to do it before coming to the class and be ready with these two. Okay, so that we can discuss. So what I'll do, okay, this is about Anvaya. I do not want any questions because we have already, but still if you have, go ahead, ask. No, na? So this is what the slide I wanted to show you. What is Anvaya? Why Anvaya? And why ask questions? And then what is that Kim Shabda? Why, how we are asking questions? And why group Vibhaktis? And these things which we are using to pull out adjectives, adverbs and all. And how, what you can find in Anvaya. See, most of the things are there in your textbook only. So the thing is, what makes interesting is the participation in the class. Otherwise, it is very boring. So I will only the first class, I will try to explain everything and I'll only be talking. Next subsequent class onwards, please come prepared so that we can discuss. Okay. Understood any questions here? Okay. Yes.
No.
No Cheta Agresaramaha Kalidasaha. So now we are going to study about Raghuvamsham, right? I have not personally read Raghuvamsham, but I have listened to some discourses on that and I have found it very interesting. So whatever, any small interesting fact that I know very, very little, but then I would love to share it with you. Same time, if you are also doing that, if you have attended anything about Raghuvamsham, if you know any interesting fact, please note it down and tell that to the class. I would welcome that. Okay. Okay. So Kalidasa, we all know, he is a Kavi. Maharaja Vikramaadityasya Sabha Kavihi Asit. So Kalidasa's, nothing is known about Kalidasa much. He was, I mean, most of the Kavis are very, very modest are people. You will be learning a lot of about all this Sahitya and Sahityakara and all that in your Kovida. You have a lot to learn and memorize. So please start studying right from now, Kovida. Okay. You have letter writing, essay writing, everything. So start studying now if you have not yet started. So Kalidasa is either from, some say he's from Kashmir and some say he's from Ujjain. Ujjain because I think it is in Megha Sandesha that he has described Ujjain. That's what they assume Ujjain is because it resembles Ujjain so much. So he's described it so well. That is why they assume that he could be from Ujjain also. And then he has written 3 Nataka, Malavikagnimitra, Vikramorvashiyam, Abhighana Shakuntalam, Dve Mahakavye, Raghuvamsham Kumarasambhavam, Dve Khandakavyam, Ritu Samharam, Meghadutam. What is all this? You will see, sorry, you will learn in your Kovida portions. So sequence of his works, it goes like this, like Ritu Samhara, Malavikagnimitra. Why? Based on the maturity of writing. That's what they say. Some say, no, Raghuvamsham could have been the first and Ritu Samhara, but the experts, what they say is the maturity in writing that is found in Raghuvamsham is not there in Ritu Samhara. So they assume that Ritu Samhara could have been his earlier works and the best is Raghuvamsham. That is what is said about Kalidasa's work. Then he has got the title Kavi Kula Shiromani. Just imagine, Kavi Kula, of all the poets, Shiromani, he's the best. He's like the crown of Kavi Kula. Okay. Deepashika Kalidasa, we all know this. He has got the title Deepashika. If you do not know this, this is the shloka that has given him the title Deepashika Kalidasa. Sancharini Deepashikhena Ratrau Yam Yam Yatitaya Patimvarasa Narendra Margatta Iva Prapede Vivarna Bhava Sasa Bhumi Pala. So what is 1 second? Okay. Able to see no slide? Now I think in between I have to keep
Yeah,
asking.
Yeah.
What is happening here is it is Indumati Swayamvara. Indumati is a beautiful, very, very talented princess who everybody wants to marry. So many princes have come to the Swayamvara and everybody is eager to marry her. They want to marry her. And why Indumati, holding a garland, is walking down the aisle. And while she is walking, there is a maid next to her where she is explaining about each princess. As they pass through each prince, there is a maid telling her, okay, this is such and such a ruler. He has won such and such a kingdom, blah, blah, blah. Everything about that king, okay? So what is happening is every time the Indumati is walking to one person, to a king, his face brightens up. And because he's in anticipation, he is thinking, okay, now she's going to put the garland on me and I'll get wedded to her. Okay. So every time she passes through, the face of the prince is brightened up. And the moment she thinks, okay, this is not the guy for me. And she walks forward, his face turns pale. And obviously, Kalidasa is always giving upama. What is he comparing this with is when you hold a light and you walk down the street, the things, the bhavan, the houses that are in front of you brightens up, right? And as you go forward, the entire thing behind you is black. So this is what is compared. I am very, very nirasa asti mama vivaranam. So it is supposed to be extremely beautiful comparison. When you hold the Deepashika and go and pass through the marga, all the things, the bhavanani that gets lighted up, and when you pass through, there is a darkness. So he's saying that is exactly how the faces of the Bhumipala, the kings, were as and when she moved, rejecting them. So this has earned him the title Deepashika Kalidasa. Then Upama Prayogaha Apurvaha. So obviously this Upama only he gave, he got his Deepashika, and he is the best in Upama Prayogaha. So we know this. Upama Kalidasasya Bharave Arthagauravam Dandinaha Padalalityam Maghe Santi Trayogunaha. So I'll just took this example of Upama. Smayamana Mayatakshaha Kinchidabhivyakta Dashana Shobhimukham Asamagraksha Kesara Muchvasadiva Pankajam Drishtam. What is this meaning is, there is a beautiful girl. He's talking about a beautiful girl with big eyes. She's so beautiful and she is smiling. Because of that smile, there is what is her teeth? Little bit of teeth is being shown because of her smile, open smile. Little bit of teeth. And she's very beautiful with big eyes. And he is comparing it with what? A lotus, which is just blooming. As it is opening the petals, you know those fibers, what do you say, filaments, the fibers within the lotus, the thread-like thing, that is just being shown. It's just, imagine the lotus, it is just blooming, and there are the thin fibers which is little seen. He's comparing that with the beautiful lady's smile. Face of the girl with big, beautiful eyes, whose teeth are slightly seen because of her smile, is just like lotus flower which has just started blooming and whose fibers are partially visible. Who can just think of such similes? Huh? So he is very much known for his Upama. Then Kalidasasya Samskrita Bhashayaha Shreshtatamaha Kavihi Asti. So he is known as the best. So how do you prove that? Pura Kavinam Gadana Pashyanti Kanishtikadishtata Kalidasaha Adyapi Tattulya Kavera Bhavat Anamika Sartavati Babhuva. Now suppose I say start counting. When you count, you hold back all your fingers and start counting with the last finger, the tiny finger, say. So what happened was, if you start counting the best kavis in Sanskrita, in Sahitya, Samskrita Sahitya, says you start counting with your little finger up. Okay, you say Kalidasa, and then you stop. You stop, and because there is nobody else comparable or parallel to Kalidasa. So what they're saying is, it is so well that the next one, next to little finger is what? The ring finger. There is nobody next to Kalidasa. That is why the name of the ring finger is justified. What is the name of the ring finger? Anamika, right? We know that. Kanishta, Anamika, Madhyama or something. We know the names of the thumb is called Ungushta, right? Pointing finger.
Tarjani.
Tarjani is,
Tarjani is
Tarjani, Madhyama, then
Anamika,
Anamika,
Kanishtika.
Kanishta.
So they are saying after Kanishtika there is no one. So Anamika is justified. The name is justified. Anamika is what? No name. Nobody can be named. So if you start counting with Kalidasa with Kanishta, there is no one next to him. So that kind of justifies the name for the ring finger. So such is the fame and name of Kalidasa. Okay. There are lots and lots. I have just limited to this.
Yeah, there are quite a few good ones. Saraswati Ramanu with that is also great.
Yes.
Kalidasasya.
Yes, there are so many things, but then that will be a lecture on Kalidasa itself.
Yeah. In Meghaduta also he compares his love from going from one mountain to another mountain. He goes from state to state in India.
Very, very, so many are there. You know what? If you keep listening, you'll be so thrilled. But not that, not this age, we can't remember all of them to come and tell you also. But then it is very nice. Wherever you find, whenever somebody is talking about Kalidasa, please do attend. It will be very nice. Okay, next come to Raghuvamsham. So why now we are doing Anvayarachana of Raghuvamsham written by Kalidasa. So Raghuvamsham. So Raghunam Vamshaha Varnyate Yasmin Tat Kavyam Raghuvamsham. So see, Raghuvamshaha is the Pullinga, but then it is called Raghuvamsham because it is Kavya's name. Raghunam Vamshaha Varnyate, where the Raghuvamsha is, the kings of Raghuvamsha are described, that Kavya is called Raghuvamsham. Kalidasena Rachitam Mahakavyam. Mangala Charanam is Shivastuti. He is a follower of Shiva, and all his, I think, has been on Shiva only. So Vagarthaviva Samprakta is a Mangala Shloka. We will study that in detail. Then there are Navadasha Sargaha Santi. 19 Sargas are there. We will be studying the second. And Dvitiyam Sargam Patishyamaha. Then 1569 shlokas are there. Okay, and in the second sarga which we are studying, there are 95 shlokas. But in the Pustaka, there are only 24 shlokas. I will give you the meaning of the missing shlokas also, but I will not go in detail. Then Puratanaha Bhashyaha Vallabharayena Rikitam. There is one Bhashya on Raghuvamsham which was written by Vallabharaya, but that is not available. So Mallinatha Surinal Rachitam Sanjeevini. That is the basis for, usually everybody refers to Raghuvamsham Bhashya written by Mallinatha, and it is called Sanjeevini. So this is also available. If you are interested, you can go through that book. It is on web, free download. Then Raghuvamsha Kavye 32 Ragnam Varnanam Krutamasti. So right from Manu to Agni Varna, there are many Raja description or explanation about everything, about the way they ruled, about how they were, how was their kingdom flourishing, and then their kids, all that. I think only 7 or 8 of them have been in detail. Many of them, the rest of them, it is like in a shloka or so, not descriptive at all. Then Shrungara Veera Rasaustaha, there are 2 Shrungara Rasa, Veera Rasa. Obviously, Veera Rasa is more prominent because it is Raghuvamsha. Then 21 Chandaha, we now know what all this mean. Anushtup, Indravajra, Upajati, all these Chandas have been found. More in the second Sarga, it is mostly Indravajra, Upendravajra, Upajati. Most of them, 99% is Upajati. And because of Raghuvansham only, he got the title Deepashika. It is because of that in the Indumati Swayamvara. Indumati is Raghu's wife, so she comes in this. And 19 sargas are like this. Pratama is where Dilip, he starts off with Dilipa. He doesn't go to any king before Dilipa. So he starts off with Dilipa. And in Pratama sarga, he tells how the Dilipa's dynasty is and how he has been ruling, all that. But then he also talks about his only negative, that he's not having children. So he says Raghuvamsha kings are not worried about them not having children for their own sake. It is for the sake of the public, for their people, that they do not have a ruler after him. So that is why they are worried. So he is worried because there won't be any ruler after him. So he goes to his rishi, then asks him, Vasishta, and he asks him about what the remedy is, and then he is told about why he is not getting issues and what needs to be done. All that is in Pratama Sarga. Dilipa's journey is very, very, I have not read personally, but then I believe it is very, very beautiful, the way he is described and all. And Vasishta's hermitage, going there and finding about the solution. So the solution given is you do seva to Nandini. So the Dvitiya Sarga starts with the seva. How Dilipa does the seva, how Nandini tests Dilipa. I think we had learned Raghuvamsha in where, right? Shiksha, right? Shiksha?
Yes.
Yeah, madam. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know the story. So how Nandini tests him, and finally how Nandini is pleased and given the vara to Dilipa. Then they set back to going back to the kingdom back. Pleased. Everybody is pleased here. Then you can read about all these sarga. I'll pass on the slide. So emphasize on the second slide, which we will be studying. Okay, so third, fourth and all is about Raghu, Kautsav. This story also we know. Aja, Indumati Swayamvara. This is Shashti. This is where we have the Deepashika Kalidasa. Then Aja's wedding, Aja's lament and death. We know that Indumati dies suddenly, and then Aja is very, very hurt, and he is like always mourning. Then Navama onwards, it is Dasharatha and Rama and all that. Most of these are all about Rama only. Then it is Kusha and his son Atiti. These two are also described well. But after Atiti, then most of the kings here are, later kings. Line of 21 kings who succeeded Atiti are all there in very, very few shlokas, not in detail. And finally, Agnivarna is also written in detail because he is a destroyer. He's a very bad king. That is being described. So this is about Navadasha Sarga and Raghuvamsha. So I will pass on the slide. Anybody knows anything more interesting can share now. Oh, no, Chet, Agresarama.
One I have heard a story about Kalidasa, like when he wrote Kumara Sambhavam, he developed leprosy, and then after he wrote the Raghuvamsam, he became better.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard that, or is there any?
No.
Yeah,
but I have known that
he was describing Shiva Parvatyoho Parinayam. That's Karanath. He developed the leprosy, and then he had to do this. Somebody suggested he should write about Raghuvamsam, and then he wrote the Raghuvamsam.
Okay. I didn't know. What I've already also learned, heard is that this is an incomplete one. It just ends abruptly, and they feel that he would have written more, or he probably died after this. Either he died after this, or some things are lost. So they say it is kind of abruptly ending, but some say no, this is a proper ending. I'm not sure, but they say this is obviously his last work, I guess.
Bhagini?
Anya, but this information is still there in those transcripts. Was it?
These are all there.
Oh.
Whatever Raghuvamsham is available is intact, that is it. But after this, nothing is found. They say it is kind of abrupt ending.
Bhagini,
Huh.
many of the people in the class may be knowing. I just want to share.
Share.
Kalidasa wanted to know who is the Sreshta between him and Dandi.
Mm-hmm.
So Saraswati is the judge. She says Dandi only Kavi. I'm not putting it in Sanskrit. Dandi is the Kavi. Kalidasa gets angry and starts abusing Saraswati. Then she says, wait, I have not finished the judgment. Dandi eva Kavi, but Tvameva Aham. Ahameva Tvam. I am you and you are me, like that. Then he feels sorry for it. But she says, because you abused me, next birth you will become a dumb fellow. So he becomes a Mukha in Kanjipuram. Then the Mukha Panchashati. So Kalidasa in his next birth becomes Mukha.
Okay.
And Kanchi Kamakshi or the Kali Devi blesses him and he starts writing Mukha Panchasati. It's famous.
Because there is one, the movie also which says that he's a dumb person initially, and he gets married to a princess by deceit, and finally the Kali writes Om on his tongue, and that's how he gets all the gnana and all.
That's right.
That's right.
In the Kannada movie, it is.
Yes.
Oh, Mukha nahi fool tha. Fool.
Murkha.
Amam.
No, he said, what you said, dumb, right? Mahodaya said Mukha.
Dumb.
That Mukha.
Tamil Uma.
Yeah, Mukha means Omai only. No? Dumb.
In the movie, they say show him as a Murkha.
இல்ல முட்டாள்னு சொல்றாளே தமிழ்ல. That is what.
To show him he is a dumb, without knowledge, they depict him in the movie.
But honestly, when the scholars talk, they say that is all good story.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dhanyawad Bhagini.
Dhanyawad Mahadaya. Thanks for sharing. Anyway, let's come back. So, Vagarthaviva Sampraktau, Vagartha Pratipattaye, Jagatah Pitarav Vande, Parvati Parameshwarau. Chandas, which Chandas?
Anushtup.
No, we have done this, people. I took up the same example. Right? Nobody remembers.
Yes, ma'am.
See, what does it mean? Vagarthaviva sampriktav vagartha pratipattaye jagatah pitarav vande parvati parameshwarau. Vak and artha. Vak cha artha cha vagarthau. Itaretara. Vak is what? Speech. Shabda. Artha is meaning. So, a word should be capable of expressing its meaning by itself. So, when I say a book, pustaka, you will remember that it is something which has got pages, something that is to be read, something that is to be written on, all that. So just the word is expressing its meaning. So everything is around us is like that. We have associated word and meaning together always. So there is no word without meaning, no meaning without a word. It has become like that, inseparable. So vak and artha are so inseparable. Sampraktau means the inseparability, togetherness. Okay. Vagarthaviva sampraktau. Vagarthau iva sampraktau. Sampraktau. Who are they? Jagatah Pitarau. Pitarau is, I will explain later. Pitarau here means parents.
Mata Pitarau.
Yeah, Mata cha Pita cha.
Mata Pita cha.
Correct. Pitarau means parents. Jagatah Pitarau, the parents of the universe, who Parvati Parameshwarau. Parvati and Parameshwarau are the parents of the universe, and they are so inseparable, just like Vagartha, Vak and Artha. That kind of Parvati Parameshwarau, Aham Vande. I am bowing down to Parvati Parameshwarau, who are Jagatah Pitarau and Vagarthau Iva Sampraktau. Why am I bowing down? Vagartha Pratipattaye. Vagartha Pratipattaye, to attain, to get what? Vak and Artha. So what has happened is, Kavi has visualized or has everything in his head now. He has taken the bold step of writing Raghuvamsha. He has everything, drafted everything in the mind. Now he is bowing down to Parvati and Parameshwara, asking them, now I'm ready to write. But then, see, having ideas and putting it into proper thing is very, very different, right? That is why that even in a movie, the director would have visualized everything. The way he puts it across makes him a good director or whatever, right? The same thing with a Kavi. He must be having a great idea, but then the way he puts it in words makes a lot of difference. That is what he's asking Parvati Parameshwar. Give me the best possible word and a befitting meaning to that. It should convey immediately what I mean to say. Proper, perfect word and perfect meaning associated with the word. I want that from you. Please give me that as I've started writing this. Okay. So the observations here are, even before this Raghuvamsham, he had written many kavyas, mahakavyas and all, right? He has written Mangala Shloka, Namas Shloka, whatever. Is that they say either to do Namaskara or to get Ashirvada or whatever they write Mangala Shloka. He has always written it as Shiva alone. Okay. But he only in this, he has mentioned both Parvati and Shiva. And before also, they say that other shlokas have longer chandas like Shardula Vikriditam and all, but this he has made it a simple Vaidika chandas, Anushtup. And other shlokas referred Mangala or protection for others, in the sense, may Shiva give you that. May you bow down to Shiva. He has addressed it like that. May Shiva give you this. But here he is asking for himself. It is for self. So all these is showing his modesty. That's why they have concluded that the maturity that he has used in this was not there in the earlier. That is why they have said this probably was his last, or I mean, it is not the recent, not the first. Because some I believe say she's showing modesty. That is why it could be the first one. When you not know anything, then you are very modest. But people say that Kalidasa is such a person. He, as and when you know more, you become more humble, right? So he's that kind of a person. That is why probably this is one of his later kavyas. So this is for self. He is asking, one day, let me attain the proper words, perfect, befitting words. And one more thing here, which are all these are observations. See, Vak and Artha. Parvati and Parameshwara. Parvati is Strilinga, Parameshwara is Pullinga. He could have used any other words like Shabda for Vak and Artha, some other word, right? But he has used Vak, which is Strilinga, Artha, which is Pullinga. So he has associated directly a Strilinga Vak with Parvati, Artha with Parameshwara. They also say Vak is Saraswati, Vani. Vani is Saraswati, Artha is Brahma. So he has brought in Saraswati and Brahma with one word. See, Vak Artha, how much meaning. I believe every word he uses has some lot of significance. And Mallinatha Suri has done lot of best work in analyzing each thing. Even then, Mallinatha also says, I believe, I am just nothing when compared to what Kalidasa is. I have only tried to express whatever I have understood. Such is the depth, okay? Anyway, Vak is Saraswati, Vak is Brahma. Then here, Vak is Prakriti. Here they also say Parvati is Himalaya's daughter. She's being compared to Prakriti, and Artha is Purusha. And Vak is Saubhagya or Sampatti, that is Lakshmi. Artha is Parama Purushartha, that is Vishnu. So these are all the analysis that they have done about Vagartha Shabda. Then there is one thing called Vagartha Viva. Vagarthau Iva. Vak plus Arthaha. Mute Bhavantu Sarve. Vak plus Arthaha. Vak cha Arthaha cha Vagarthau. Have they done Nitritra Samasa for you?
Yes.
Okay. Vak plus Arthaha cha Vagarthau. Vagarthau Iva Vagartha Viva. There is one Nitya. Please mute Bhavatu. Who is that? Okay. There is a samasa which can happen with iva, okay, which we have not learned. So vagarthau iva. So now this becomes a avyaya. So this becomes a nitya samasa, compulsory samasa, and it is inseparable. In nitya samasa means it is not, it is like akhanda. So nitya, so this is inseparable. So that is why he has chosen this. And then pitarau. He could have said mata pitarau. No, he has used pitarau. Pitarau, mata, pitarau are all there in Amara Kosha, saying that they all mean matacha, pitacha, mata pitarau, but matacha, pitacha is also pitarau. That is called ekashesha. Ekashesha is where there are two words, but only one will remain. So just think, he is representing one word to represent two entities. So the choice of words is also so beautiful in this. So this is almost become like a shloka which we recite. So this is just a Mangala shloka that he has written in one kavya, and we all are aware of it, and we all recite it also. It is that popular and it is that meaningful. So Vagarthaviva sampriktau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagatah pitarau vande Parvati parameshwarau. He starts off with Mangala shloka. This itself, with if the actual scholars start talking, they can talk on this itself for an hour or so. So this is about the Mangala shloka. We will do the Anvaya for this. And I do not want to start off with the second sarga. There are some shlokas where he starts off. The first three shlokas, his introduction, why he is writing, it also shows his modesty. And then there are another four shlokas.
Bhagini, I just want to say about the first Mangala Charanam. I got the opportunity to attend a Raghuvansham class by Dr. Vishwas.
Yeah.
He came to Pune and he did this 2 days of course.
Please share.
So he mentioned about this. He said that Shabda Artha Vina na Tishtati. Artha Shabda Vina na Tishtati. So he explained that Vagartha, Vaga Artha, that combination, that like Earth and Shabda doesn't coexist without each other. In the same way, Parvati and Parameshwara is like, so he gave that analogy. So I just wanted to share that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That is why they are like Ardhanarishwara. They're inseparable, right?
Right.
Parvati and Parameshwara are as attached as Vagartha, Vak and Artha. That is why the word Samprikta, attached or inseparable. Just like Vagartha, even Parvati Parameshwara are also inseparable.
Right.
Mani Parvati Parameshwara, there's one more meaning I read recently, not earlier. I don't know whether originally also Mallinatha Surya, etc. gave that meaning. Parvati Parameshwarau. Parvati Pa Rameshwara. Pa iti Parvatim Pati iti Parvati Pa. So they split that as Parvati Pa Rameshwara. So Shiva and Vishnu, both are there. So Parvati Parameshwara meaning is given as Shiva and Vishnu.
Okay. But I don't know if it is Shiva and Vishnu here, but because
what is given is that meaning also is their type of thing.
Okay.
In addition to Parvati and Parameshwara,
okay,
the Parameshwara and Vishnu also is included, is what I read.
So that could be like a Shlesha.
Bhagini, can I tell something about this?
Vadatu.
Because I'll be listening to this Telugu Chaganti Pravachanam. He'll be telling in Stri Rupa, it is Parvati. If the same, it is in male form, it is Vishnu.
So it is Shiva and Vishnu or Shiva and Parvati?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bhagini, what Vishwanath Mahotaya told, they show in a movie in Tamil, it's called Salangai Vali, Kamal Haasan and Jayapratha. The same sloka comes before the start of a song, and there he splits Parvati Pa Rameshwara.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Parvati Parameshwara, as Vishwanath Mahodaya told, the
Parvatipa Rameshwara.
Yeah, they specifically, deliberately do that with stress.
That's why SP Balasubramaniam, I think, sang that splitting that way.
Yes. SP was sung.
Yeah.
I think even in I think Sagara Sangamam, this thing is used.
Same thing. Sagara Sangamam
Same,
song.
same.
Kalangali in
Sagara
Tamil.
Sangamam.
Yes.
Same.
Thing is used. Okay. So first three. Yes, but they also say that Mallinatha does not recognize that. Although this version exists, but because there is a Strilinga and Pullinga. Yeah, this is more of Parvati and Shiva only. Yeah, everybody. So this is more appropriate, and this is what Mallinatha has accepted. Yes, it is more. See, things happen. Whatever is. When people start analyzing, many people start analyzing, there will be different versions of each this one. But what is accepted is Parvati and Parameshwara as a Stri and Purusha only. They can, of course, everybody can have their own views, right? Okay, so the first three shlokas depicts why he did that, and he's talking about himself. He's trying to be very, very modest here. And then the next four shlokas will talk about, he tells about what the rulers of the dynasty are. So I will just go through these shlokas and then start. Otherwise, because these are very beautiful shlokas, okay? So the first one he says, Kva Surya Prabhavo Vamshaha, Kva Chalpa Vishayamatihi, Cha Alpa Vishayamatihi, Titishu Durstaram Moha Dudupena Moha, I think Ha is it.
Udupena.
Mohat it is. Mohat Udupena Asmi Sagaram. So, Anvayamasti, Surya Prabhavo Vamshaha Kva. Where is Surya Prabhavo? Which one? The Vamsha which starts with Surya. Okay, where is that Vamsha which has the Prabhava of Surya? And where am I? Who am I? Alpa Vishaya Matihi. My knowledge is so limited. So where is that dynasty? Where am I? Mohat Dustiram Sagaram Udupena Titishu Asmi. I am so ambitious to cross. Uncrossable, Dustaram Sagaram, a very, very difficult to cross ocean. An ocean which is very, very difficult to cross. I am eager to cross. Icha asti. Titishu icha asti. How? Udupena. With a raft, with that wooden raft. Teppa antivala kannadadalli adu. Teppa itkondu nanu Sagara datak hogta idini. Sagara ಏನು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಸೂರ್ಯವಂಶನ. ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಪಮತಿ, ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಪ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯವನು ಅಂತಹ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಾಹಸಕ್ಕೆ ಕೈ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. I am my knowledge is so limited. I am a alpamati and still I am trying to take up such a big task of writing about Surya Vamsha. That is being compared to a person who is trying to cross the uncrossable, very difficult to cross ocean with a small wooden raft. So that is only showing his modesty. He's showing his humility here. Okay. So here, where is the race sprung from sun? The race which traces its origin to the sun. And where is my small domain of intellect? I think I am bent upon crossing the uncrossable ocean by means of a small raft. See here, presence of qua, wherever it is, qua and qua, it only comes to say that there's a lot of difference. Adelli idelli heltivala, ayo akashayalli bhumiyalli. We say that, no, where are you? Where is that and where is this? That is only to say that there is a lot of difference between them. Mute Bhavantu Sarve. It also implies the significance of what is being told. See, what he's trying to, more than trying to tell, hey, I am going to write something nice, he's talking more about the Surya Vamsha. He's trying to tell what I am trying to write is very, very significant. He's not saying, I am trying to, no, he's not emphasizing on I, because he's saying, aham alpamati. So he is giving importance and significance to this Raghu Vamsha. Okay. See, this is also very nice. Pratibadya mahimna cha prabandho hi mahattaraha. If you want to propound something, if you want to put forward something, if that itself is very significant, whatever work that you are, through which you are trying to put it forward, that will naturally be great. Because he is talking about Raghu Vamsha, which is mahattara. Because of that, because of the mahima of that only, whatever he's writing will also have its mahatva. Okay. Next question, next sloka he writes is Mandaha kaviyashah prati gamishyami upahasyatam pramshulabhye phale lobhadu dvahuriva vamanaha. Mandaha kaviyashah prarthi pramshulabhye phale lobhat udbahuhu vamanaha iva upahasyatam gamishyami.
Apahasyatam manye.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've written it as upahasya. I'll change it. Apahasyatam gamishyami. So, nanu a mandavada kavi, alpamati. I'll one request. I want to explain this as Kannada as well as in English. Okay. I hope you people don't mind.
Tell in English also.
Yes, definitely in English. ಕವಿಯಶ ನಾನು ಮಂದ ಸ್ಮಿತ ಮಂದ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯವನು, ಆದರೆ ಕವಿ ಎಂಬ ಕವಿಯಾಗಬೇಕು ಎಂದ ಆಸೆ ಇರೋನು ಅಂತವನು ಅಪಹಾಸ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಗಾಗುತ್ತೇನೆ ಈಗ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಯಾವ ತರ ಅಪಹಾಸ್ಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಮನ ತರ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾವ ವಾಮನ? ಕೈಗಳನ್ನು ಚಾಚಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತ ವಾಮನ. ಏತಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಕೈ ಚಾಚಿದ್ದಾನೆ? ಫಲಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, ಹಣ್ಣಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ, ಹಣ್ಣಿನ ಆಸೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ. ಎಂತಹ ಹಣ್ಣು? ಉದ್ದ ಇರುವವರಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಿಗುವಂತಹ ಹಣ್ಣನ್ನು ಒಬ್ಬ ವಾಮನ ಕುಳ್ಳ ಆಸೆಯಿಂದ ಚಾಚಿಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ, ಆ ತರ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ನಾನು. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್? ಐ ಆಮ್ in order kaviyashaha, in order to gain the fame of being a poet, in the sense I want to be, that icha in me to write, be a poet, to write a kavi is so much that even though I am dumbwit, he calls himself dumbwit, he's saying manda. So okay, in order to quench that thirst of writing the poet, I am sure I will be apahasyatam gamishyami, I will be ridiculed. How will in what way? Again there is a upama here. Vamanaha iva, like a dwarf. What kind of a dwarf? Udbahuhu, who has stretched his arms. Why? To get phalelobat, to get a fruit, to pluck a fruit. From where? Pramshulabhe. That means from a tall tree. Only if there is a tall person, he can stretch his hand and probably get the fruit. But I am a dwarf, and I'm raising my hands, and I'm kind of jumping and trying to pluck that fruit. Won't you ridicule such a dwarf? There you see a tall tree with the fruit on the top of the tree, and you see a small dwarf trying to pluck the fruit of that tree. How does it look? Ridiculous, right? So he's comparing himself like that. He is saying, I am a dwarf. That means my buddhi is like that of a dwarf, and the tall tree is like that Raghuvamsha. I am being a dwarf, I'm trying to write about such a Raghuvamsha. So I will definitely be ridiculed. An incompetent fool that I am longing for the fame of a poet, I'll go ridicule. Just like a dwarf in greedily stretching up his hands to pluck fruits obtainable only by the tall. That means for attempting to write on a great lineage. The last he says, this is also beautiful. Athava कृतवाग्द्वारे वंशेऽस्मिन् पूर्वसुरभिः मणौ वज्रसमुत्कीर्णे सूत्रस्येवास्ति मे गतिः. Anvayaha. See this, you know the importance. This you may not be understand, but once you read the Anvaya, you'll be able to understand at least half of it easily. Athava कृतवाग्द्वारे पूर्वसुरभिः अस्मिन् वंशे वज्रसमुत्कीर्णे मणौ सूत्रस्य इव मे गतिः अस्ति. Athava, maybe I have a chance here. He's saying, see, now he told us, I am trying to do this, which is so difficult, but I'll be ridiculed. I am like trying to cross an ocean with a raft. Then why should he be writing? Why am I writing? Because, wait, maybe I have a chance. Why? Because Purva Surubhihi Asmin Vamshe Kritavagdware. About this lineage, about this dynasty, Purva Surabhihi, like Valmiki and others who have already written about in Ramayana, they mentioned about this, right? This dynasty. So they have already written about it. They have opened the door. They have opened the door of the poetic description, the way a poet should write. The door is already open. So my going inside the door could be like me gatihi asti. My situation or my state is like Vajra Samutkirna Manau Sutrasya Iva. It is like that of a thread which is passing through the Manau, where 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 that money is already pierced with a diamond. If the money, gem, ratna, or whatever, is already pierced with that means it already has a hole. Then isn't it easy for a sutra to go inside? Maybe, he's comparing his state, his situation like that of a sutra, where all it has to do is go through the money which has already been hole. There is already a hole in it. So he's saying, in other words, he's saying there are money everywhere. Somebody has written about Raghuvamsha here, another dynasty here. That I am collecting all the money and I am connecting it to a sutra to make it a beautiful garland. So, or perhaps I have a path in the race after all in this royal dynasty, whereas the doors of the poet description has been opened by the ancient. He means Valmiki and others have written. There is a way for me to enter, just as there is a passage for the string in a jewel pierced with the diamond pin. So this is the 3 shlokas that he talks. And the next shlokas, he describes the Raghuvamsham kings. Initially, he tells these are the, and one more thing I want to tell you, I was just listening to one of the videos, therein he says, he touches upon so many shastras, I believe, through the shlokas. So in one of the, this is what he gives an example, the 4th shloka, which says here, I'll tell you when I arrive there, when I get there. So he has touched upon so many shastras, Kalidasa, in one or the other shlokas, wherever relevant. So one of them is like when Raghu is born, or Dilip, no, I think Raghu. When Raghu is born, they say, he tells about how the nakshatras were aligned. And there he describes it so well, and that shows his what did you say, expertise on Jyotish Shastra. He is describing the locations of each planet and all that. It is so well, and it shows that he's well versed with Jyotish Shastra. And then there is another verse, I believe, in I think it is Raghu, Dilipa and Sudakshana going back from forest, where he's describing the forest, and there he says the forest was they were walking down and there were many animals, and then they were not walking down, they were going in the cart, and the cart wheel rotated making a sound, right? And that sound, dum dum dum, whatever, that sound was similar to Shadja. He says, see, I don't know basically nothing about music. So people who know music will understand that I believe that Shadja has 2 versions. And he says the moving of the cart resembled the 2 versions of Shadja, to which the peacock danced. So that's and there is another where he touches upon Shakuna Shastra. So different, and Veda too, he touches so many places, and Dharma Shastra, and then the administration Shastra, or whatever, Rajya Shastra. So he just shows his knowledge in many Shastras, so many relevant shlokas. Anyway, coming back. In these next four shlokas, he describes the kings of Raghuvamsha. Everybody, not of course the last one. So here, I will just go through the Anvaya because I'm running short of time. Saha aham ajanma shuddhanam aphalodaya karmanam asamudrakshittishanam anakaratha vartmanam. So Saha Aham. See, this is the 4 shlokas are combined together. See here, 4th shloka you will get to see this. He's saying Saha Aham. Saha Aham means what he has described his qualities, like that I am not very I am of limited knowledge. I am like I'll be a person who will be mocked and all that. Antaha Nanu. That kind of me. I am going to describe the rulers of Raghuvamsha, who is having mentioned all these qualities. What qualities? Ajanma Shuddhanam. That means they have been pure right from the very time of their birth. They have been prayed. Most of the babies have been prayed and asked from the gods, and they have been obtained. They're very, very Shuddha. And then Aphalo Dayaka Karmanam. That means they will not stop till they reach what they have started. They will never leave anything in between. So carried on their undertakings till they are crowned with success. Then Asamudra Kshitishanam, their land, their territory is so vast that it could go up to the ocean. Anakarartha Vartmaman, Vartmanam, whose chariots have traveled unhindered up to the gates of heaven. So we see, even in the stories we see, Dasharatha goes to Swarga, helps Indra and comes back and all that. So this is a kind of rulers they had in Raghuvamsha. Next, Yatha Vidhi Hriti. Oh, I've not given the Anvaya. I'll change this and give. Yatha Vidhi Hritigninam, Yatha Kamarchitartinam, Yatha Paradandanam, Yatha Kala Prabodhinam, Yatha Vidhi Hritigninam. Carry out the yagnas which are performed as per the proper rules. So they are always carrying out yagnas all the time. We've seen that Kautsa, what is that? Vishwajit Yagna, Rajasuya Yagna, all these rulers carried out lot of yagnas and in a proper way, following the rules. Yata Kamarchitarthinam, whoever comes asking, they will be given suitably. So they will never go without not getting anything from these rulers. Honored prayers of supplicants by gifts as per the seeker's desires. Yata Paradandanam, whoever has to be punished, okay, they will be punished according to the crime they have done. If it is too much or it is not, too less also. So punish the offenders according to the crime committed. Yata Kala Prabodhinam, when the time arrives, they know how to act. So they are roused into action, awake when the time demanded. So these are the qualities of the ruler. So Tyagaya Samritarthanam Satyayam Mitabashinam Yashase Vijigishunam Prajayai Grihamedhinam. Tyagaya Samrita, they have accumulated wealth. They only to be given away. That also Vishwajit Yagna, we know that, right? He just gives away whatever he has, and when Kautsa comes, he is like holding a mud this one, right? We have read that story. So that is how the rulers are. They accumulate wealth only to be given away. Satyaya mitabashinam. In order to protect the truth, they will talk very less, and that is not no loose talks. And also, that is only for the sake of preserving the vow of truth, spoke in measured and deliberate manner. Yashase vijigishunam. So they only extend their territory or they go conquer others only to get for the fame. It is not to show their strength or just to brag about. Prajayai gruhamedhina. They will enter into a wedlock. They will enter grihastha for the sake of prajayai. Why? Prajayai is for the sake of issue, to have babies. Why? That too, not for personal, but so that the people get a proper ruler. But otherwise, the dynasty is lost. So only for the sake of praja. Praja here means public and baby also. They go for this one in order to get baby, which they intend it only for the public, that is for their subjects. Now this we have seen. Shaishave Abhyasta Vidyanam, that is during childhood, they spend acquiring knowledge. See, this is what I told you. This is about Dharmakshastra. This is Dharmashastra. This is not about only Raghuvamsha. This is what each and every one of us should incorporate. What, right? This is what the Shastras talk about also. That we have to spend childhood acquiring knowledge. We have to only learn. We must learn as much as we can during that young age of ours. Yavane Vishayai Shina. Once you have acquired knowledge, when you have Yavana, that is the time for you to enjoy. So you can enjoy and sought pleasure in the adulthood in right way. Okay? Shastra Dharma Anuguna. According to the Dharma, you will have to, even family, everything is as per Dharma. No adharma anywhere. Then Vardhake Muni Vrittinam, as you age, you should start behaving like a Muni. Not that you go and do tapas in a forest, which is not likely these days, but you should start detaching yourself from the worldly pressure. So that is why here most of the Raghuvamsha kings, as soon as they came old, they would just give the an entire dynasty do the Patabhisheka to the son, and they would start detaching. They would start go. That is why most of the kings would go to the forest also to live a detached life. Yoge nante tanujyatam, and in the end, tanu tyajam. You have to live this body through yoga. Andre swayam siddha. You should not. Somewhere it was said that you should be leaving the death or the body on your own. You should not wait for the death to come, and that was the principle of the king. So to could leave this world in the state of rapt communion, you should be able to leave the world on your own. So all these are this. So I told you in the last, he says, Raghuna manvayam vakshye tanuvagvibhavo pitsan tadgunaihi karnamagatya chapalaya prachoditaha saha aham. I told you in the first shloka, antaha nanu, that kind of me who is trying to take up this very hard task, tanuvagvibhavo apisan. Though I am possessed, tanu is small, vagvibhavo, though I am possessed with the scanty powers of speech, I have not many words to, I am very, very limited with knowledge and power of speech. Even then, tad gunaihi karnamagatya chapalaya, since I have been provoked by who? Tadgunaihi, those characters, the characters that all I've mentioned, all these characters that I mentioned in the above shlokas, all these characters themselves have come and told me in my ears. They have prachodita, they have driven me to write this. They have told me, hey, write about them. See, these are the characters in the king. Write about them. So I've been prachoditaha. That is why I am going to write about Raghuvamsha. So this is what the 4 shlokas that he has written. First about himself, that he has taken up a great significant job of writing about Raghuvamsha. Then about the kings of Raghuvamsha, saying that they had such wonderful characters. Those characters themselves are coming and telling in my ears that write about them. They are making me undertake this task, of this huge task. Okay, then I wanted to actually fit about Raghuvamsha, how many shlokas it has and how many chandas, little detail about it. And we'll be following Mallinatha Surina Likitam Sanjeevani. That is a bhasha on Raghuvamshan. And we will be focusing only on the Dvitiya Sarga, which has about some 95 shlokas, I guess. And in the text, we have about 24, that's all. Then I will share this PDF and also yesterday's chandas today. So you can go through the different sargas. And we understood a little bit about the Mangala Shloka. And we also went through the initial shlokas written by Kalidasa before he starts off with the actual Raghuvamsha, about how he feels that he is a very, very Alpa Manusha to write about the big, vast Surya Prabhavaha Vamshaha. So he feels that he is trying to cross an uncrossable or a very, very difficult to cross ocean with the help of a small raft. And he also says that I feel like a dwarf trying to pluck or attempting to pluck the fruits from a very tall tree, which only a very tall person can afford to do. So he says, I will certainly be ridiculed. And Mahodaya, Vishwanatha Mahodaya Astiva, so it Atra Upahasya is Samyak Asti. I saw Apahasya, yeah, as somebody pointed out yesterday. Apahasya is to laugh at, Upahasya is to be ridiculed. And then we saw. Okay. Then we also saw that it is, he's saying, though in spite of all this, I would definitely try to go ahead and write Raghuvamsha because people have already written about it. So for me, it is just like a thread passing through the pearl or a gem which already has a hole in it. So next he describes the Raghuvamsha in about 4 shlokas, the characteristics of the Raja of the kings of Raghuvamsha, And then he says, I am compelled to do that because such sincere and good characters are there in such rulers. They are such able administrators that those characters are ringing in my ears and they're compelling me to write about them. So I think we had stopped there. So now, in order to find out how we go about Anvayarachana, I thought I would just take this Vagartha Viva Samprukta so that our minds will get oriented towards Anvayarachana, forming of Anvayarachana, and then subsequent classes will start off with the actual textbook portions. Okay, so what I'll do is first on the shloka, I will just give you the simple, before even diving into it, I'll give you the simple bhavartha of it. First in Kannada, and then I'll translate it into English. Why I'm going to do this is, first if you note the bhavartha, whatever I tell subsequently, samasa, sandhi and all, it'll make it only easier for you to understand the shloka. If you do not know anything, many words are very, very new to all of us. So if you do not know any bhavartha also, eventually, yes, by the time we arrive at actual Anvaya, you will be able to understand. But then if you know the bhavartha first, you will be able to do it better. You will be able to focus on the details better. That's what I thought. So I will just give you the bhavartha in simple language, and then we will go about doing every other detail. So Vagartha Viva Sampraktau, Vagartha Pratipattaye, Jagatah Pitarav Vande, Parvati Parameshwarav. ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ದೇವರ ಹಾಗೂ ತಾಯಿ ತಂದೆಯರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಪಡೆಯೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಹಾಗೆ ಆರಂಭಿಸಿರುವ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳು ಸಫಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎನ್ನುವುದು ಭಾರತೀಯರ ನಂಬಿಕೆ. We Indians believe that before we start anything, we would like to take the Ashirvada, the blessings of God and our parents, right? We strongly believe in that. ಕಾಳಿದಾಸ ಕೂಡ ತನ್ನ ರಘುವಂಶ ಮಹಾಕಾವ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಂಗಳ ಶ್ಲೋಕವಾಗಿ ಶಿವಪಾರ್ವತಿಯರನ್ನು ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಕೋರಿದ್ದಾನೆ. Kalidasa also in his shloka, Mangala shloka of Raghuvamsha, is seeking for the blessings of Parvati Parameshwara. Illi Vagarthaviva. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅರ್ಥ ಸೇರಿ ವಾಗರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ. ವಾಕ್ ಎಂಬುದು ಶಬ್ದ, ಅರ್ಥ ಎಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಶಬ್ದಕ್ಕಿರುವ ಭಾವಾರ್ಥ. ಅವೆರಡನ್ನು ಬೇರ್ಪಡಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ವಾಕ್ ಇತ್ಯುಕ್ತೆ ಶಬ್ದಃ, ಅರ್ಥಃ is the meaning of that shabda. So the shabda and the meaning are inseparable. They always go together. So they are inseparable. So he is taking this inseparability. He's finding the same thing in Parvati Parameshwara. He is saying Parvati and Parameshwara are two who cannot be separated. So that is why he is saying Parvati Vagartaviva Sampriktau, Parvati Parameshwarau, Jagatah Pitarau. Jagattige Mata Pitagalada, the parents of the universe. Vande, aham vande, I bow down. I bow down for what? Yatakkagi Vagartha Pratipattaye. Vak mattu artha vannu ನನಗೆ ಕರುಣಿಸಲಿ, ವಂದಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕದ ಮುಖೇನ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ? ಶಬ್ದಾರ್ಥದ ಜ್ಞಾನಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರನ್ನು ವಂದಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಟು ಗೇನ್ ದ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್, to get speech and its meaning, to get the proficiency in oratory skills, descriptive in my poetry, I seek the advice of Parvati Parameshwara. So as we saw, Vak and Arth have been compared to so many things by so many analysts. So, some say Vak is, initially it is Parvati and Parameshwara. Some say it is Lakshmi, Vishnu, Saraswati, Brahma, and I think one Manhodaya pointed out it is Shiva and Parameshwara also. And one of the things I read that Vak ityukte Veda, Vedasya artham gnatu. Some people have analyzed, like, I don't know if that makes sense here. And some people have said Vagartha is Shiva Parvati, and Vagartha Shiva Parvati means universal self. So this is to achieve moksha. So the analysis has gone, in many directions. But I feel the befitting one, it is just Parvati and Parameshwara, because it matches the Vak and Artha, Strilinga and Pullinga also. So we will take it as Parvati and Parameshwara. So Kalidasa is bowing down to Parvati and Parameshwara, who are the universal parents. who are parents to the entire universe and who are inseparable like Vak and Artha, in order to gain the knowledge of speech, because he's starting to write Raghuvamsha. Okay, so now we will go to the details of this. That is, first is Samasa and Sandhi. Why Samasa and Sandhi and why not Padacheda first is, if in Padacheda we will have to break up the words if there is a Sandhi and separate it, right? So it is better we know about the Sandhi and then do the Padacheda. And Samasa, we will not be breaking down and writing it, but we will definitely know the Vigraha Vakya to understand its meaning better. So here, so this time, mute Bhavantu Sarve, please. Here, I am going to tell everything, but next class onwards, everything is there in the textbook. So please come prepared so that I can ask somebody to explain what is going on, what are the samatas, what are the samasas and sandhi. Okay. If you want, you can give me the details of how the sandhi is formed also. Okay. So please do come prepared. Why I'm asking you repeatedly is you can enjoy the class better if you know something, and you can only gain for more knowledge. Even if you don't come prepared, it's fine, but it is for your benefit. Okay. So first word, Vagartha Viva. I told you that it is Vak and Artha, Vagartha. This we know, Vak cha Artha cha Vagartha. This is Itaretara Dvandva. There are two entities, Vak and Artha. Vak is Strilinga, Artha is Pullinga. Eventually, when you get two entities, there will be a Dvivachana, Vagarthau. It is taken out because there is masculine in the end. Artha is Pullinga, therefore it gets Vagarthau, like Ramau. Akaranta Pullinga Shabda asti, tata Vagarthau, Ramaha Ramau. Dvivachana because there are two entities, Vak and Artha. So Vagarthau, Itaretara Dvandva Samasa. Now, Vagarthau Iva. See, there is a samasa here which we have not learnt, and it is called Kevala Samasa. And Kevala Samasa is, we have learnt, I think the samasa, I don't know how much portion is Namrata Bhagini has finished, but I'm sure you're all aware about Tatpurusha, Bahuvrihi, they're all categorized and named. There are some samasas which do not have a particular name, and they are called Kevala Samasa. Atra Vartikam Asti, one Vartika is there, it says, Ivena Samaso Vibhaktya Lopascha. Vibhakti, that means Ivena Samasa. There will be a Samasa formed with Iva, the word Iva. There can be a Samasa which is formed with Iva, and for that, it will not have Vibhakti. Samasa, Ivena Samasaha Vibhaktihi Alopaha. So what happens usually when there is a samasa? You have Ramalaya, Devalaya, say Devasya Alaya. What happens? We drop the this one, right? I'm sorry, I'm repeating samasa class, but just this first day, so I'm going to do that. Deva, we just take Deva without dropping the vibhaktis, Deva and Alaya. Then we make the Sandhi Devalaya and we put back the vibhakti, right? So we say Devalaya Tasya, Devalayasya. If it is Devalayasya, we say Devalayaha Tasya. If it is Devalayaya, we say Devalayasya Tasmai, like that. So if it is in Pratama Vibhakti, we just leave it there. So here, what is happening is Vagartau Iva. So Laukika Vigraha Vakya, that means what is shown is Vagartau Iva. Alaukika is where you split that Supratyaya. It will be Vagartha Au Iva. Now what happens? Au will remain. Usually we drop and we put the Pratipadikam form, right? Ra, Deva, Alaya, Devalaya. Devasya is gone. Sya is gone. Devalaya remains. Here, the low part doesn't happen because of this Vartikam. So that is why we still find Vagarthau Iva. So how is it Vagartha Viva? There is a Yanta Vanta Desha Sandhi. Ayadi Sandhi happening. Au plus E becomes, Au plus any other vowel becomes Av, right? Av. So it becomes Vagartha Viva. So this is one word. This is one, and it will become an Avyaya. So Vagar, and one more thing, I'm not sure. This is a Nitya Sandhi. So I think, I'm not sure, because after the class I was just thinking, I said Nitya Sandhi is compulsory and all. Sorry, that is a mistake. That I think I got confused with the Sandhi. Nitya Samasa is not like Sandhi. Sandhi we say Nitya, that means compulsory. And Otherwise, it's not compulsory. But here, samasa, nitya samasa is different. Nitya samasa is something that is having avigraha. That means it cannot have a vigraha or atava aswapada vigraha. I'm sure she would have told about swapada vigraha and aswapada. Swapada is like, what is a common thing like devalaya, devasya alaya. Deva word is also there, alaya word is also there in vigraha vakya. Say pitambaraha. Pitam, ambaram, yasyasaha. Pitambaraha, pita is there, ambara is there in the Vigraha Vakya. Whereas in certain, like, say Kurpurusha, Kupurusha, Kutsitaha Purusha. That Kutsitaha is not even there in the Samastapada. We just break it and make it Kupurusha. So that is called Aswapada. It is, the same words are not there in the Vigraha Vakya. So Aswapada and Avigraha. Avigraha is something which doesn't even have a Vigraha Vakya. So those things are called Nitya Samasa. If you don't understand, don't worry. These are all not there in it. And the other is called Anitya. Okay. So this is a Nitya Samasa. That means it cannot even be broken. This is what I wanted to convey. It's a Nitya Samasa. That means it cannot be even broken. Cannot be having a Vigraha Vakya. So Vagarthaviva. Why that is used? Because he's trying to tell something is showing oneness. There is oneness here. So every word has been selected such that it is showing something which cannot be separated. Okay. So Vagarthaviva samprittau. So something which is then Vagartha pratipattaye. Samasta padamasti. Vagartha pratipattaye. To get something, the acquirement of. So this Vagarthas would be Shashti. So Vagarthau is Dvivachana. Shashti of Dvivachana will be Vagarthayoho. So Vagarthayoho Pratipattaye. Pratipattaye will be Pratipatti. That is Ikaranta Strilinga. So finally it will be Vagarthayoho Pratipatti Tasyai. Because Pratipattaye Chaturthi. Okay. Then Jagatah Pitarau. Jagatah, there is nothing. Shashti Vibhakti. Pitarau, nothing. Pitarau again. This is called Ekashesha. What is Ekashesha? It is not a samasa. See, Pitarau Matacha Pitacha is the splitting of Pitarau will go like Matacha Pitacha. If I say Matacha Pitacha, according to Dvandva Samasa, it will be Mata Pitarau, right? So that is a Samasa, Dvandva Samasa. But if I say Matacha Pitacha is just Pitarau, that is called Ekashesha. What is Ekashesha? Ekashesha, in Sanskrita, there are 5 vrittis. Okay, it's called vritti because it will have the explanation of, like it will have Vigraha Vakya say. It is trying to explain something. So there are 5 vrittis. They are called Samasa, Taddita, Krudanta, and Ekashesha and Sanadhyaha. Okay, Sanadhyanta. Sun. So this Ekashesha is not a samasa. It is in fact a deviation from samasa. So some people say it is Vandva Ekashesha. No, Ekashesha is different. So here we are finding Ekashesha. Ekashesha will also have Vigraha Vakya. So Matacha Pitacha, Mata Pitarau will become Dvandva Samasa. Matacha Pitacha is just Pitarau. Eka eva Shishyate. Only one remains. That will be Pitarau. For example, I can say, what is that? Putra. Putrau. If I say Putra, what does it mean? What is it? Putra, right? 2 sons. It can also mean Putrahacha Duhitacha. Duhita is daughter, son and daughter. In Ekashesha, what happens? Putrahacha Duhitacha becomes Putrau. That means when I say my children, okay, children, I'm not segregating or separating a boy or a girl. My children would mean 1 daughter, 2 daughters, 1 son and a daughter, like that, right? So, sorry, what was that? Putrau. Putrau means it can mean 2 sons, or it can also, if it is in Ekashesha, Putrahacha Duhitacha becomes Putrau. Similarly here, and everywhere the Pullinga remains. Okay, so Matacha Pitacha Pitarau remains, Putrahacha Duhitacha Putrau remains, and say there's something else like Hamsahacha Hamsicha Hamsau remains, like that. Female and male is there, but they have to be of the same group. I can't combine one Hamsa and one Putri. No. Hamsa has to be with Hamsi only, and Ladka has to be with Ladki only, like that. Okay. So don't worry if you don't understand. This is Eka Shesha, that's all. It means Mata cha Pita cha Pitarau. There is only one remaining. Here also he's trying to say oneness. He's trying to say represent one in though there are two entities. Though there is a Mata, though there is a Pita, the word Pitarau itself explains that there are oneness in it. Okay, and then what else? One day is Atmanepadi, this thing, and Parvati Parameshwarau. Parvati. What have you learnt? What is Parvati?
Srilinga.
Srilinga, I know. What is Parvati?
Parvatarajasya putri.
It is a Taddika, Uttam. Parvatasya apatyam. And Parameshwara, there is Parama Ishwaraha. Paramaha Ishwaraha, Visheshana Purvapada. So Paramaha Ishwaraha, there is one Samastapada Parameshwara. Parvati Parameshwara, there is one more. So Parvati cha Parameshwaraha cha Parvati Parameshwara. Here it is Dvandva because both are being mentioned. Okay. So I think that's all. Let's see. Yeah. So Vagartha Viva, I told. So I will be following a convention. Every Samasa will be in blue. Every Sandhi will be in pink. So I have listed it together. Why? Because many a times when you break down the Samasa as Samastapada, there will be a Sandhi attached to it. So if I have to separate Samasa and Sandhi, then I'll also have to correlate those two. So instead, as soon as we break down the Samasa, we will also find out the Sandhi associated with it. So everything will be together. Okay. So Itara Itara Dvandva, and this is a Kevala Samasa I told you. And Vak plus Artaha, Vag Artaha, there is a Ga coming instead of Ka, Jashtva Sandhi. Okay. And Vagartha Viva, Yanta Vanta, Au and I, Av. Then Pratipatti, Vagartha Yoho Pratipatti, Vagartha Pratipattihi Tasyai, because it is Vagartha Pratipattaye, Chaturthi Vibhakti. Vag Artha Pratipattaye, Vagartha Prattihi Tasyai, Shashti Tat Purusha. Then Mata Pitarau Ekashesha, it is not a Samasa. Parvati Parameshwarau, I told you, Parvati Parama Ishwaraha. Parameshwaraha is Visheshana Purvapada. Parvati and Itaretara Dvandva. And Parvati is Parvatasya Apatyam Stri, Taddita, and then Jagataf Pitara is Upadmaniya. This you can neglect also, but then I just wanted to tell you. Jagataf Pitara, that is there only in Ucharana. Jagataf Pitara, you say. And this is a Vartikam I told you. Ivena Samaso Vibhaktya Alopascha. There is a Vibhakti Alopa, Vibhakti Alopa. Alopa, that means the Vibhakti with the previous word is retained. Usually we get the Pratipadikam, we don't attach the Vibhakti for the first word, but here it will be the same. Okay, any questions or anything that I have missed? Please tell.
Last sentence, Bhagini, Vibhakti Lopa.
Okay, this is, sis, it is called, in Samasa, Vak, which one can I take? See here. Vagarthayoho Pratipatti. Vagartha Pratipatti. That means we will be taking Vagarthayoho Pratipatti. What we do is we just take the Pratipadikam, right? Vagartha Pratipatti. And then we form the Samasa, Vagartha Pratipatti. And then we attach the Vibhakti again, right? Vagartha Pratipattaye. We are not attaching the Vibhakti to the first Subanta, right? This you would have learnt in your Samasa class. Devasya Alaya, Devalaya. Devasya. Devasya, Sya went off. The Vibhakti of Deva is gone. We have only taken Deva and Alaya, right? Usually that is what is happening in Samasas. But then only with this Vartikam, it says, first, whatever that we have used to dropping the Vibhakti there, we are taking only Pratipadikam, right? But no, here Vibhakti Alopa. There and all it will be Lopa. It will be gone. Here it will be Alopa. Na Lopa is Alopa. That means it will not be gone. So that is why even here Avagarthau Iva only is the Samastapada. It is not Vagartha and Iva. It is Vagarthau and Iva only. Because of the sandhi, yanta vanta desha, it has become vagartha viva. Vagarthau is only there. It has not changed to vagartha. The pratyaya here, which is giving the vibhakti, it has not been dropped. Okay? Don't worry, this is out of, actually, it is just gnanartham.
Aluk,
Okay,
aluk asti va?
Pardon me?
Aluk samas.
Kevala samas. Yeah.
1 minute. You said Parvati, Parameswara are two different entities. Huh?
Yeah, Parvati is one entity, Parameshwara is one.
Okay. It is unlike you said Putraha cha Pitacha. That is Putrao.
Now, Pitarao, yeah, unlike Pitarao, see, Pitarao, they are still representing two entities, but only one has remained. Pitarao, if you break down, it will still be Matacha, Pitacha. Here also it will be Parvati cha Parameshwara, but this is the Dvandva Samasa. Pitarao is the Ekashesha.
Okay, this is Dvandva Samasa.
Yeah, Parvati Parameshwara is Dvandva Samasa. Pitarao is Ekashesha, where only one remains. Okay, that's not a Samasa.
Namaste, Manye. Manye, last line, I think, last but one line, Parvati, I think Pa should be there. Akara.
Oh, yes, Parvati has become. Yeah, thank you. I'll change it, okay, and we'll send it. Thank you.
Even in the Vagarthau, the third one. Vagarthau plus Iva.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Big Tha, Mahaprana. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Then Padacheda. Now since you have understood the Sandhi and all, Padacheda will be easy. But here, everything seems to be a Samasta Pada only. See, here also we are not going to break Vagarthau and Iva, because I told you it has formed a Kevala Samasa. It has formed, so it is treated as Samasta Pada, and it is an Avyaya, so we will not break it as Vagarthau and Iva. Okay, so we will take it as Vagarthaviva Sampriktau Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwara. So if nothing is to be broken down, it is as is, but even the sequence, anyway, that I wanted. Yeah, Padacheda. This is called Padavibhaga. If in case there is a Sandhi, we will have to break it up. Here, there is no Sandhi. There is Sandhi, but it is happening inside a Samasa. So we are not considering, and we will not be breaking that up. Next is Vyakaranamsha, where we will take each Pada and we will tell what it is. Like if it is a noun or a dhatu, Shabdaha va dhatu va. Then if it is a Shabdaha, Anta and Lingam we will say. If it's a dhatu, we will say Lakara, Purusha and Vachanam. And we will also, if it is a Shabda, we will also say Vibhakti and Vachanam. And finally, I want to give the Pratipadartha also in the same table, so that at one shot you get everything. Okay? It will look like this. Vagartha viva. I told you it is an avyayam. Arthamasti shabdhartha viva. Like speech and its meaning. Vak artha iva. Shabda artha iva. Like speech and meaning. Sampriktau. Sam upasarga. Prich dhatu kta. Sampriktau. Okay, this is detailed. Don't go to this. The sampriktau, sampriktaha, kta vibhakti, kta pratyaya. So it will be akaranta pullinga, sampriktaha, sampriktau, sampriktaha, like this. So sampriktaha is prathama vibhakti, dvivachana, sampriktau, dvivachana. Okay, the nitya sambandau, sammilitau. Actually, it should be Dvitiya Vibhakti. Sampriktau Vande. So, I think it is Dvitiya. Okay. Vagarthaviva Sampriktau. Jagatah Pitarau. Parvati Parameshwarau. Aham Vande. So, all these. Parvati Parameshwarau will be Karma. So, it will be Karma Pada. So, it will be Dvitiya Vibhakti. I'll correct this. So, Nitya Sambandau Sammilitau. That means indissolubly cleaved together, ever embodied two in one entity. It is only telling you that they are inseparable. They are always together. Vagartha Pratipattaye. So, though this is a samasta pada and you know it is vagarthayoh pratipatti tasyai, we will take it as vagartha pratipatti, because that is a samasta pada. Vagartha pratipatti is a samasta pada, that is the shabda rupa of vagartha pratipattaye. Ramaya, if I say Ramaya, it is Rama Shabdasya Chaturthi Vibhakti, right? So Vagartha Pratipattaye is Vagartha Pratipatti Shabdasya Chaturthi Vibhakti. And Vagartha Pratipatti is Ikaranta Stri Linga, because it has a tin pratyaya. So it will be Chaturthi Vibhakti Ekavachana. So Shabdarthayoha Siddhyartham, to attain the knowledge of words and to derive pertinent idiom and ideation, pertinent words and their perfect meaning. Jagataha, we know Jagat Shabda, Takaranta Napamsakalinga, Jagataha will be Shashti Vibhakti Ekavachana, Lokasya, Prapanchasya, of the universe. Pitarau, so though it is Matacha, Pitacha and all that, no, here we will only consider Pitarau, that will be Pitra Shabda, Rikaranta Pullinga, 2, 2. So yeah, here also it is 2, 2. Okay, 2, 2, Pitarau, Mata, Pitarau, parents. So in the Amar Kosha, it says Mata, Pitarau and Pitarau, synonyms. Then one day, dhatu, Atmanepadi, Lat Lakara, Uttama Purusha, Ekavachana, Namami, I bow down. Parvati Parameshwarau, Parvati Parameshwara, Shabdasya, that is Akaranta Pullingasya, Dvitiya Vibhakti, Dvivachana. Uma Maheshwarau, Parvati and Supreme Lord Shiva. So if you know this you have to know, it is there in your textbook also, because it will be there in your exam. They can just give you Pratipattaye and write the Shabda, Dhatu, Linga and all that. So every word in the textbook, in all the Anvaya, you have to learn. I mean, not in the sense as and when you study the Anvaya, you will definitely understand. It's not that you have to by heart and anything. But then you have to know that Vagartha Pratipattaye will be Vagartha Prati Shabda, Ikaranta Strilinga, 4, 1. These things are all important for you from exam point of view. So now looking at the Artha, you can just derive at this. What is the Anvaya? It is Vagartha Viva Sampraktau, Jagatav Pitarau, Parvati Parameshwarau, Vagartha Pratipattaye Vande. Okay, it is Aham Vande. So I bow down to Parvati Parameshwara, Supreme Lord Parameshwara, who are like speech and its meaning, who are indissoluble, cleaved together like speech and meaning, and who are the parents of the universe, to derive pertinent idiom and ideation. So Anvaya would be like that. But what do we do before doing Anvaya? We are going to club all the vibhaktis together, right? All words in each vibhakti together. So that will be covering under Vakya Vishleshanam. So what do we do in first?
1 minute. Excuse me.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Dhatu, you told for Dhatu we say Lakara, Purusha and what else? Vibhakti, yeah?
Vachana.
Vachana, okay.
Vibhakti. Vibhakti, it is there in Dhatu, is it?
Yeah. So we say Lakara, Purusha and Vachana.
Vibhakti is not there for Dhatu, na?
Okay. So that's right. What we see Lakara, Purusha and Vachanam.
It is there. If you're confused, go to the heading here. Lakara, Purusha, Vachanam.
Okay.
If it is Shabda, it is Lingam, Antaha means Akarantava, Ikarantahava. Antaha, Lingam, Vibhakti, Vachanam. All these are for Shabdas. That is the nouns. And Avyaya will not have any of this. Right? Avyaya, na vyayati. It will not change for anything. Then Lakara, Purusha, Vachanam is for one. That is Dhatus. Yeah, Bhagini, you wanted to ask something?
In the exam, you have got to write all this.
What do you mean all this? They will ask, say for example, Jagataha. Then you will have to say Takaranta Napamsakalinga Jagat Shabda Shashti Vibhakti Ekavachana. You have to write all this. No, of course not the meaning. All this.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
They can just any word from any of the chapter and give you like this. They can just say Pitarau. Then you will have to say all this, not the meaning till here. Okay.
Ma'am, what is tin prati plus pad plus tin? Is that
Tin is the
pratyaya
pratyaya.
that we have in?
Pratyaya added. Don't worry. No. Don't. You don't have to write all this. But it is the
Okay.
tin pratyaya getting added. You only have to say vagartha pratipatti shabda ikaranta strilinga vagartha pratipatti shabda chaturthi vibhakti ekavachana.
Okay. Thank you.
This no. You don't have to do this.
महोदय तत्र जगतः शब्दः अस्ति तत्र द्वितीया बहुवचने अपि अस्ति जगतः एव पञ्चमी एकवचने अपि अस्ति.
Yes, if there is ambiguity, both of them will be correct because you do not know the context. Yes, both of them will be correct.
धन्यवादः.
Okay, agre saramaha. So vakya vishleshana. Now help me out. Which is the kriya pada here?
Vande.
Yes. And prathama vibhakti. Are there any words in prathama vibhakti?
Jagat, ma'am.
Jagataha. Wait, one Bhagini said Jagat. See, Jagataha. Jagat shabdasya shashti vibhakti asti Jagataha. Okay?
अहं मन्ये द्वितीया एव अस्ति प्रथमा नास्ति एव इति अहं मन्ये.
Which one?
Prathama is Adyahara, aham.
Yes, Adyahara, but then whatever is in Adyahara, we do not write in Vakya Vishleshana. We are only grouping the existing words under Vibhaktis. Okay? So here we will not. Only when we are doing that Akanksha Kramena Anvaya, where we will take it. So, Adyaharam Atrana. So, Prathama Vibhakti Nasti. Hello? Dvitiya. Anyone can
tell? तत्र संपृक्तौ पितरौ पार्वती परमेश्वरौ.
उत्तमं. संपृक्तौ पितरौ पार्वती परमेश्वरौ. तृतीया अस्ति वा? नास्ति. चतुर्थी अस्ति वा?
आमां
प्रतिपत्तये.
न जगता न जगता षष्ठी खलु.
अच्छा.
वागर्थ प्रतिपत्तये. That is चतुर्थी. पंचमी अस्ति वा?
नास्ति. जगतः पंचमी अपि अस्ति षष्ठी किन्तु अत्र जगतः षष्ठी अस्ति.
So अत्र षष्ठी जगता अस्ति. सप्तमी नास्ति. Then we have finished shabda. Now and tiyanta and shabda. Now we will take up anvaya. Sorry, avyaya. Avyaya asti va?
Vagarthau.
Uttamam. So no, don't split it. I told you take it as one word and that is avyaya. Vagartha viva, entire thing, don't split. Vagartha viva is avyaya. Now we have all the words are covered. So when you are writing also, please ensure that all the words you have put in. Sometimes you might miss out. So just keep a count and see if all the words are there here. Next, Akanksha Riti, we will go back. We'll go to get the Anvaya. First, we will again take Kriyapadam. Atra Kriyapadam asti Vande. So what is the first question? Vande. Bowing down. Karta. Uttamam. So, aham atra nasti. Adyaharam karaniyam. So, kaha vande, aham vande. Next, I am bowing down. Next question is why cow? Why cow?
द्वितीया.
No, Dvitiya nahi. Why cow?
Kam vande.
Dvivachana, correct. See, we have seen Parvati Parameshwara. Dvivachana. That's why cow. Cow vande Parvati Parameshwara. Now we will find out. Now we know Parvati Parameshwara. Now we will see whether there are any adjectives. So we will find out if we have to tell more about Parvati Parameshwara. Are there adjectives? Yes. One second. How do you find out? 1 second, please. How do you find out? We will go back to this Vidya Vibhakti and see if there are matching ones. There are Pitarau and Sampriktau. So these two could be the adjectives of Parvati Parameshwara. So we say, now we'll say what? Tell me now. Kidrishau. Parvati
Parameshwarau.
Sampriktau. Okay, next. One second. Sampriktau we found out, but Sampriktau also there is something. How? They are together. Like what?
कीदृश सम्पृक्तौ
Katham samprukta.
Katham samprukta. How are they? How are they together? Katham samprukta vagartha viva samprukta. Okay. Now there is one samprukta we have finished. There is one more adjective. So how do we say that?
Punha kidrisha.
Kidrishav Parvati Parameshwarau Pitarau. Now is there anything attached to Pitarau?
Jagataha is there.
Yeah. So how do you say that?
Kayo Pitarau.
Kasya.
Sashti vibhakti. So
Kasya. It is not Kayo because the answer is Kasya. Kasya is attached to Jagataha, not Pitarau. Okay, Kasya Pitarau, Jagataha Pitarau. Next, there is one more word left. Vagartha Pratipattaye. For what are we bowing? For what is he bowing down?
Kimartham.
Kimartham vande Vagartha Pratipattaye. So this will be the, now we have got all the words. So this will be the Akanksha Kramena Anvaya. We have asked all questions. We have arrived at all the words. So we will now say the Anvaya. Vagartha Pratipattaye. Vagarthaviva Sampraktau. Jagatah Pitarau vande. Jagatah Pitarau. Parvati Parameshwarau, Vagartha Pratipattaye, Aham Vande. This Aham, you may or may not write. Even here, it is okay even if you exclude it. That was very, in I think Parichaya it was taught. It's okay even if you take it out. It's not compulsory. So, Vagartha Viva Samprakta, Jagatah Pitarau Parvati Parameshwarau, Vagartha Pratipattaye Vande. And these two adjectives can be changed also. Like Jagatah Pitarau, Vagartha Viva Sampraktau Parvati Parameshwara is also right. So as we have always told, there is no definite rule, thing for Anvaya. There could be words which can, I might try to put this first and you might put this first. Now as the meaning is not changed. Okay. Hope this is understood. Any questions?
Ma'am, that Katham Sampraktau, can it be Punaha Kidrishau Sampraktau?
No. It is Vagartha Viva. How is it? See, Kidrishav Sampraktau, we are talking about Parvati Parameshwara. Sampraktau, they are together. How are they together? So we are not talking, Kidrishav is about Parvati Parameshwara, no? Sampraktau is how are they together?
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, next we will, as I told you, next we will be adding Alankaraha and Chandaha. Alankara is over or other classes going on? I'm not sure.
Over.
Alankara over, is it? You know about Alankara, right?
Yes.
Okay, good, excellent. So now tell me, Vagartha Viva Sampraktau, Vagartha Pratipattaye, Jagatah Pitarau Vande, Parvati Parameshwarau. Is there any Alankara here?
Upama
Alankara. Okay. Upama Alankara. What is Upama Alankara? Comparison. Similarly, something is like another thing. So something is getting compared to a standard one. And Eva and all that will be to tell that it is being compared. It is like that, similar to that and all that. And there is a common thing between them which is being compared. Okay. So all these four we take into consideration in Upama Alankara. Now, tell me what is being compared here to what?
Vagarthau Upama Vagarthau Iva.
Parvati
Parameshwara is being.
Can one person answer, please? Yeah, Vagarthau, correct. Upamanam, yes. What is that?
Parvati Parameshwarau.
Upameyaha Parvati Parameshwarau, yes. Upama Vachaka?
Iva.
Iva. What is being compared? What is a common thing?
Sampraktau.
Yes. So you usually say Dastasya Bhavaha Vadatu. Sampruktatvam. Okay, that is the noun form of it. Sampruktatvam is being compared. So, Upameyaha Parvati Parameshwaro, Upamanam Vagarthau, Upama Vachakaha Iva, Sadharana Dharmaha Sampruktatvam. So, Purnopama Alankara. All of them are present. So, it is a Purnopama Alankara. Understood? Any questions? Okay. Next, we will find Chanda. Anybody recollects what Chandas it was? Yesterday only he answered.
Anushtup.
Anushtup. So I do not want to go to details because we have already worked on this. If you have doubts, refer to the slide that we have worked. We have worked Vagarthaviva, so I don't want to see. So here I have already done this. So atra pratipade ashta aksharani santi. Pratipadasya panchamaha aksharaha laghu. All the red ones are laghu. Shashtamaha aksharaha, the pink ones are guru. And first and third pada, the seventh akshara is guru. First and third, here and here, guru. Second and fourth, it is laghu. See, blue here. So it fits all the rules of Anushtup. So Anushtup Vrittam, that is shloka. Just write Anushtup, okay? So finally we come these two. I think, okay, this is just to tell you, Brahmi tu Bharati Bhasha Gir Vak Vani Saraswati. This is how it will be given in Amarakosha, and Amarakosha will give you all the synonyms. So here, Vak, we have the word Vak. So which Vak means Vani, Shabda and all that. Bhasha. So how will you make out it is Strilinga also is given by Amarakosha. It will tell you, look at the other, Saraswati, Bhasha and all are Strilinga. So Vak is also Strilinga. So Amarakosha gives you the synonyms of each word, and it also tells you the gender. So Vak Strilinga, Arthaha Pullinga compared to Parvati and Shiva. This I have already mentioned. So finally, Tatparyam is, I bow down to Shiva and Parvati, greatest of gods and the parents of the entire universe of creation, and the perpetual relation between them is so as close as the ones existing between words and their meanings. So this is the pattern in which the Anvaya will be done for every shloka in the textbook. And if you think this is enough or anything is to be added on, I don't think so. But if you people have read anything more, and if you have something else to share about any of the shloka or each of the shloka, that's why I said come prepared so that we can discuss. If you know anything more than what is being discussed here, please share. Okay. So this is about the Anvayarachana method and the Anvayarachana of Vagarthaviva. So if you have any doubts, ask. Otherwise, we will just stop here. I just wanted to finish off so that from next class onwards, I can start off from the first shloka. Any questions you have, you can ask. Nasti chet, atra sthagayamaha. Thank you everybody for joining in today. Dhanyavadaha.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
धन्यवादः मान्ये.
धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः मान्ये.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
Savita Bhagini, धन्यवादः भगिनी.
धन्यवादः नलिना भगिनी.
धन्यवादः नलिना भगिनी.
धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः भगिनी.
धन्यवादः भगिनी.